Alright guys, it's the end of an era. The Xbox 360 died yesterday. I'm a day late from this video, but here we are. Now everybody's doing very sad videos. They're unplugging it, boxing it up. I'm going to tell you why you should still hold on to your 360 and why you should not dump it yet. So, if you're like me and you have not been able to get a hold of a newer console, or you just don't want to, or maybe you're transitioning back to PC, you may want to still hold on to your 360, and here's why. So if you have Xbox One compatible, backwards compatibility, then you're still enjoying probably some of your 360 titles, don't even think anything of it. But there will most likely come a time when you are going to be playing those 360 games, and that backwards compatibility may be gone. It's not going to carry over in the future. Even though the Xbox console, 360 console, will not have the connectivity to the marketplace, you can still play the games there if you have discs for them. So you may be able to get some updates. From what I understand, you can grab updates via USB stick from certain places to update the games. I'm not interested in modding mine, but there's certain games like Skylanders that I cannot play on the One or the One X because they never got a compatibility update. Activision just didn't do whatever to get those going. So I'm still enjoying those. I still have a lot of the figures. So for those of us that have games like that did not make the backwards compatibility cut, or maybe you didn't want to buy a new copy, or maybe you can't get a backwards compatible version of something, you still have your 360. And there's still a number of features that work. You can still do local co-op. From what I understand, I have to look into this. These are things that I do in my spare time. Because I'm weird this way, but I believe there is a third-party setup you can use to make your own kind of network, so you can play with friends if they're at a different location. There is some setup to that, and there may be cost, as you may have to get like a service paid for to do this, mainly to make your connection available to other people. I'm not going to get too far into that here, but the Xbox 360 still has a lot of use. Even if you don't think it does, it has a lot of use. There are many games that I transferred my saves over for to the Xbox One. That I could still play. I can't get the saves back out, but I could still play on the old system. So for me, it's still got plenty of life. It's not my primary. It is something I could stream titles off of. I think a lot of people are gonna jump the gun and get rid of them. I think we're at a point where there are a lot of people who don't hold on to their console. But having said that, how many of you still play your 360? How many of you plan on still playing it, or are you just going to get rid of it? Let me know in the comments, because I'm curious to see who's doing what with it. But I love this console. Project I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be throwing in a 512 gig SSD into, mainly because it's a cheap drive I have. I'm going to throw a 512 gig SSD into here to increase loading times. There was a video on YouTube that showed that it does make a bit of a difference. Granted, the bus on the Xbox 360 is not that fast, but the SSD does do a little bit better. And then, gonna probably open mine up, dust it out, as I haven't done that a bit. But other than that, that's my plans for now. So let me know what you guys think and what you're doing with your consoles down in the comments below.